Moth, which is created by Mac Adams. My presentation will consist of a background of the moth, a little bit about the artist, his interpretation of the sculpture, and then my interpretation of the sculpture, and then my evaluation of it. The moth was created in 2008 to accompany the new addition to the ECPE edition. Also, the software engineering program was added in 2007, so that also went with it. The moth is created of 3 marble slabs that come together to create the image of a moth. It's supposed to symbolize the first computer bug, which was found when engineers at Harvard were working on this computer and then they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, so they looked in the components and found the computer bug, so that's where the computer bug, or better known as computer virus, started. Mac Adams is a renowned artist all over the world. He is a professor at the State University of New York at Old Westbury. He has lots of collections and he loves the use of abstract art. So one of his other famous art pieces is called East-West Buddha, which is a bunch of rocks on a platform that cast a shadow of Buddha, which is really cool. He also has one called Mustangs at Noon, which is pieces of metal that are at 90-degree angles with a wall, and at noon they cast the shadows of Mustangs on the wall. He really likes the use of light and shadows. His interpretation of the moth is more of the moth itself. So moth equals mystery. He thinks they're very mysterious because they like to fly during the night, but they are attracted to light, which casts shadows on their wings, which is mysterious, and the use of light and dark. And the negative space of the sculpture, where the moth is, helps to prove the point of light and dark. He used Aubrey blue marble for the moth sculpture because it looks like a moth flying through the sky at night, how it's blurred, and that's how moths look. My interpretation of the moth is entirely different from his because I look at it from more of a software engineering computer side. The 3 disciplines in Cooper Hall are electrical, computer, and software, which I feel like the 3 different pieces of the sculpture come together to kind of represent each part being added slowly with the new addition of the software engineering program. The moth also could symbolize group work. When you have lots of different people coming together to make something, you have a lot of different perspectives, and when you look at the moth, you can see something different every time you look at it. So then group work, you have different people coming together to make something bigger than themselves. Overall, the moth is my favorite piece of artwork on campus. And the picture shown on the right is me sitting on the moth, and that's kind of my motivation, is to take this picture from the beginning of the school year and at graduation stand there in my cap and gown with my diploma next to it to see how far I've grown. So, how do you see the moth?